No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
And I'm done with that. Okay. You know how they say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day? Well, I think that that is a canyon full of poo-poo. I don't like breakfast for a couple of reasons. One being that honestly, eating very carb heavy, which tends to be the standard American breakfast, doesn't make me feel good. It makes me feel disgusting and lethargic by midday. The second is that I would just rather go straight into lunch, because those foods tend to be protein centered and they keep me like filled and energized, and I never get that sort of like sluggish, disgusting feeling. But I wanted to see if maybe I could go on a bit of a journey to figuring out what breakfast foods I personally like. So for the next 7 days, I'm going to be making breakfast for myself, but not just any breakfast, because what fun would that be? I'm going to be making aesthetic, Instagram worthy breakfast. You know, like the type of ones you see on those like extreme foodie accounts. Yeah, those. So without further ado, never have I ever been a breakfast person. First up on the list is cinnamon rolls. I know what you're thinking, that is a dessert, you imbecile. But when I googled breakfast, like fancy breakfast, cinnamon rolls came up, and as you know, the internet is never wrong. Cinnamon rolls are not really my favorite even for a dessert, but we did have a birthday in the house and their favorite dessert is cinnamon rolls, so I was like, I might as well try it while I have the chance and make it for their birthday. We're gonna let that sit for 5 minutes. Since we're on the topic of like foodie stuff, I wanted to talk about YouTuber, Instagram, food themed content. One of my favorite series on the internet, on the Try Guys channel, Eat the Menu by Keith Haversberger. I want to give him a hug sometimes because he really puts his body and his mind through it when he goes to those Eat the Menus, all for our enjoyment and our consumption. It's a very popular series. I think it's like millions of views, but like by the end you can kind of see an exponential rate of mental decay and how much food Keith is consuming. It's not a lot in theory, like you're only taking one bite of everything off the menu. But think about like, oh my god, if he went to the Cheesecake Factory, that man would die for sure. Like it's pages and pages of food. Also, if you were to do the Eat the Menu series, what restaurant would you go to? Let's see. Oh yes, she's foamy. She is foamy. So I made a grievous error. I forgot that the butter has to be softened. I'm gonna warm this inside my shirt. I have to mother hen my butter. Just a girl reaching in her shirt for some sticks of butter. Oh wow, I must produce a lot of body heat because that pretty much softened up really nicely. Broke it up. I'm gonna get eggs and salt. It's not gonna mix it into my sheet flour. Can you please stop it? I am trying to make content here. Oh, am I Kelly Stamps? I'm gonna let the dough rise for 2 hours. It's been 2 hours. You can see that the dough rose a lot, which is awesome. Next step is to make the filling, and then this has to raise for another hour. Do you guys remember the cinnamon challenge? I might be dating myself a little bit, but the cinnamon challenge was all the rage when I was in middle school, but I wasn't dumb enough to do it. mix it. I wish you guys could smell that. Just that mixture. It smells so good. I'm going to basically spread the butter around. Look at that. That is so good. Oh my gosh. Yo, that looks so satisfying. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry I keep showing you cross sections, but this is so satisfying. Okay, I can't fill the rest of my pan. I only got 9 out of this, but I'm like a little confused if I should spread it out, but I feel like not, right? Because they normally bake together. So these are what they look like now. I'm supposed to let them rise for an hour and then I'll pop them in the oven. Y'all, they rose so much. Look how thick this is. Okay, these two were like hit by the sun. That's why these are so thick. So I'm gonna pop it in the oven for like 25 minutes and then put some icing on it and then it'll be done. Okay, my visual aesthetic shot is over because I had to put tin foil on it for the last like 10 minutes so that the tops don't like burn. I loved the taste of this recipe. I loved how the dough wasn't so sweet. I really don't like how if you go to like Cinnabon, it is so sickly sweet. I want just the center, like the cinnamon part, to be the sweetest and the dough to kind of be a little more subdued. However, the biggest con was the time. Oh my god, this took so long. It took so much time that I'm pretty sure I could have walked to the next Cinnabon in the state over and have gotten it and come back before I was done with this recipe. Would I have this for breakfast? Absolutely not. Would I make this on a weekend or like on a holiday? And the answer is no. It was nice to try, and I'm not discouraging anyone from using this recipe. It just isn't really my thing. But my aunt made it again and I absolutely ate it because if it's there, it tastes really, really good. It's just that practically it wouldn't work for me. Today, we're gonna do something by the Minimalist Baker. I literally saw her blog name and I was like, yes, this is what I need. I'm not going to spend most of my mornings making like 3-hour-long cinnamon rolls. I'm going to be making things like this. And she guaranteed that this recipe would be 5 minutes. Only people who live with their siblings would know. You gotta put your name on stuff. I think I got this from like Wegmans. It's just a bunch of berries. It's strawberries, blackberries, and blueberries. So I'm just gonna put a handful of this. So the one thing that's kind of weird about this is that you don't put the liquid in right away. She basically wants us to blend this and then make it look, she compared it to Dippin' Dots. I've actually never had Dippin' Dots before. So I forgot to mention some of my favorite cooking like YouTube shows I wanted to discuss. So I'm gonna list a couple more of them. Linda Sun. She is a very holistic health and mental health sort of channel. Every video she does the most satisfying food shots. She's a huge foodie. She loves talking and vlogging and making food. So every video she has these amazing shots of whatever she's making. When she makes food, it is just so satisfying to me, especially when she makes like her famous pancakes. Honestly, don't know how she makes such aesthetic food videos. They're amazing. Go check her out. I think I put too much because, okay, she said a generous handful and apparently I'm too generous. I think the problem is that she told me to freeze the banana and that made it so dry that like when I was trying to blend it without milk, it was so horrible that I had to add way more milk than I should have. So next time I will not freeze banana, I'll just freeze the berries, put less milk inside. I'll put less of the berries in general so it's easier to blend. I was honestly so surprised. I thought that this was gonna be like the blandest thing ever. It tasted so good. The chia seeds on top were so good. It tasted like nothing, but the crunch just added something to it that I loved. I was full for hours. I even worked out and went on a walk, like a long walk. I still was full. It honestly kept me so satisfied for hours and I didn't even finish the whole thing. And I didn't feel like tired or lethargic or anything. It was amazing. Is it breakfast? Absolutely. I would definitely have this like before school, before work, anything, just like a quick breakfast for myself. That would have kept me full for so long. I loved it and I 10 out of 10 recommend it. Sometimes she just stares at me while I film myself cooking because she doesn't like it. Oh, yes.
What are you trying to make with that?
This is like brownie batter flavor.
So where's your
like
liquid?
Where's the brownie batter?
right here. Another food series. Now this YouTube channel is like a company. It's called Delish. I like 2 different shows on their channel. One is called Iconic Eats. Tess goes to different iconic locations and then eats a bunch of their famous foods. I can't believe she's getting paid for that. That's like the most amazing job. I'm obsessed with it because I am a huge Disney fan. I love Disney and Universal. And she's been to like Disney World, Disneyland, Harry Potter World, and she's just hilarious. She's a very like sarcastic and witty person. So well edited and very well filmed. I love it. The second show that I love on their channel is Julia. She eats kind of like Keith, where she'll have like, the most recent one I watched was when she went to Applebee's. She had this huge like circular table in front of her and they just kept bringing out every single part of the menu. I love her food commentary and just her like enthusiasm when it comes to food, because I know if I was doing that, I would be so sluggish and so dead I wouldn't even know what to say by the end. So it is the next day. By the way, this isn't the first time I tried to make it. The first time I tried to make it, we lost power, and this is some footage of me trying to make it, taken from my iPhone 8.
No, God! No, God, please!
Okay, so this is what it looks like. You can see in there, it kind of looks like frozen hot chocolate.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
And I'm done with that. Okay. This was just a flop all around. I even double checked because my friend was like, did you accidentally put in salt instead of sugar? And I was like, oh my God, maybe I did. No, it actually required like 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So I'm confused as to like what happened. Did I do something? Was the recipe just bad? I won't even link the recipe below. I don't want to give them hate or anything. I really just am confused by this. That breakfast was only something that Aquamarine would eat. Do you remember that movie?
Half woman, half fish.
The mermaid constantly poured salt into all her foods. So when she was eating like Ben and Jerry's, she poured like a tub of salt in it and ate it in the bathtub. That's what it reminded me of. Oh my God, was it made for her? The next channel I want to shout out is Stephanie Buttermore cheat day videos. She would basically go all out. She has like some cheat days where she's just eating fast food, or one of my favorites is when she's just eating fall themed foods. She has an insane love for donuts. I love this thing. It is so freaking cute, which I absolutely relate to. And she goes to all these different like places and she can just pack some food down. That's such a strange texture. I think on a normal cheat day, like not even trying, she can get to like anywhere between 8,000 and 10,000 calories, which is just, that's a talent. That is insane. So watch her cheat day videos. They are insanely satisfying. I love it. I just scooped a little bit of vanilla ice cream. I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
If you don't like banana, you're not gonna like this, but I like banana, so pretty good.
I am such a huge fan of cookies as dessert that I couldn't resist trying out breakfast cookies. These cookies tasted really, really good. They had a thicker texture than a cookie, which I didn't mind. This very much tasted like a good breakfast bar in the shape of a cookie. The time it took to make these was very reasonable and comparable to standard chocolate chip cookies. Would I eat this for breakfast? I think I would. Sans vanilla ice cream. I promise I'm not that much of a heathen. This cookie did not make me feel disgusting or tired at all. I think because it was gluten-free, I would love to make these again in the future.
Right,
Okay, transfer it to the other side. Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Crazy, I like it.
I was so surprised by this recipe. Oh my God, we have no regular milk.
Wasted, enticing.
As far as time constraints, it wasn't as bad as the cinnamon rolls, but it was definitely a very time-consuming process, especially whipping the egg whites into the stiff peaks. That took a very long time, so definitely give yourself a lot of time.
This smells so good.
The actual making of the pancakes took a long time because you had to pour one layer and then pour another layer on top, and that took 6 minutes, and then you had to flip it and give that another 6 minutes. So each pancake took 12 minutes.
Yeah. No, 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 no.
Okay, that was better if I didn't mess up this part. This part looks so good though. Oh my god, look how circular that is. Not to toot my own horn, but toot toot big.
Every time my baby come around me, she
I don't know why it looks like I'm trying to display my shade range, but honestly, this is more inclusive than some brands on the market right now, so I'm kind of proud of myself. I burnt 2 pancakes. She said to put the pan on medium to low heat. I realized I had to do low heat. Okay. I thought it was weird that she didn't put syrup on her pancakes, but honestly, you don't need it. Like, this has flavor enough on it. Probably because it required so much sugar, and the fruit balances it out nicely. However, around like midday, I felt sluggish and disgusting and unmotivated. And you know, one could make an argument that that's just my personality, but I would attribute that to the pancakes. The next food video I love is, again from the Try Guys, any food video with the food babies with YB and Alex. I think that they are so funny. We love that Asian representation. They pretty much are responsible for eating whatever leftover that Keith doesn't finish, because when you're eating the menu, you're just kind of taking a bite and letting it go. One of my favorites is like when YB, Alex, and I think Eugene are eating like 300 pieces of sushi, or they'll do something crazy like that where they're like, let's eat like 1 billion chicken nuggets or tacos from Taco Bell. It's not like they're trying a lot of different foods, but they're eating the same thing to a huge volume. But they're just so funny, especially when they call them the food daddies, when like Keith and Ned and like Eugene show up to try to help them. It's really funny. They're just very wholesome, and any food baby content, I love it. 10 out of 10 recommend. It smells good, it looks good. I'm just scared to put it in my mouth, so. Where's the bacon? I think that's all I want. I almost just destroyed the egg. That's not bad. The texture is still a little weird. I really like the crunchiness of the bacon in her. I've never had a sunny side up egg either. I don't think I would like it if it were just the egg and the avocado, because they're both mushy, but the crunchy bacon is really doing it for me. And the bread's pretty good. And more bacon. Has anybody seen that tweet that's like, there's no addiction like people who are addicted to Diet Coke? I got sent that by multiple people. This is like thick. It's like, it looks like Pepto-Bismol right now. It made it like a darker red. What are you making?
Pancakes.
Really? Are they healthy?
No. No. Ah! Yay! Here, come here.
Throw it.
Hold on, no, give me your plate because this goes on top of it. I just want you to try it.
What is that?
It's like this glaze. See?
No, it's fine. Just for the moment.
Nikki, what are you doing?
Dipping.
This is not how that works. Heathens. Look how thick these are. Just put one on a single plate. That is pretty good. I like the texture a lot. It's kind of thicker than a normal pancake. I know that's not everyone's preference. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see it's a little bit thick. It kind of looks like right here like a macaroon, like it kind of separated a little bit. I would never eat this for breakfast, but it's a very, well, maybe I would on the weekend. Done. I can honestly say that this Never Have I Ever was extremely fun. Cooking is just always a test of my patience and diligence, which are two things that I struggle with really hard. So this experiment for me was just a great way for me to test those skills and also to like expand my palette with things that I didn't necessarily love. I was just honestly very pleasantly surprised with this challenge, and the winner of the breakfast challenge was the Smoothie Bowl. I was so surprised by this. I was so surprised by how full it kept me, how little time and energy it took, and how simple all the ingredients were. Of course it wasn't as tasty as like Japanese soufflé pancakes, but it's functional, practical, it kept me full. It was just very light. It made me feel energized. It didn't make me feel like lethargic or disgusting. That being said, never again can I say, never have I ever been a breakfast person. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Dylan, you want a snack? No. Please.
Oh, it's late.
Dylan, I have a snack for you.
No.